Hey everyone, hope you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of commodities, the overall commodity area. Just a reminder for all you guys Platinum members, which is in the description link below the website. We do have a question and answer session tomorrow, Saturday, 7 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. So if you'd like to join the website, you can go to these question and answer sessions. You can ask questions and you can ask me about certain particular stocks if you want me to chart them or whatnot, and I'm there available to do that for you. So let's dive in here. I'll give you my financial opinion on what I see in the markets, and here we go. Let's dive in. This is the DXY, and usually what I view this as is a long-term viewpoint of it, and it does look like we're playing with this resistance line, and we're breaking to the upside here. That's a pretty big development for the DXY. It looks like it's going to continue to the upside with this strength. We had good strength, hit our head on that resistance, and we're starting to break through that resistance, and further upside could be seen here. The 10-year yield, big picture view, is also breaking to the upside. The 10-year yield and oil prices are usually pretty well linked. Oil prices higher, inflation higher. People want to sell their bonds because it goes into a higher real negative interest rate. And usually interest rates or yields go higher. And that's what's happening. We've gone higher. I think we're going to do a back test and then probably a break higher over time. I do think this winter that oil could potentially go higher, same with natural gas. And that's going to put inflationary pressures on yields. TLT, which is bond prices, the 20-year bond price, this thing is tanking. We've broken below its support line, and I think it will head lower in the long term. In the short term, I think we're probably going to come back, do a little retest before heading lower. So you can simultaneously be a bear and a bull at the same time on different time frames. The 30-year yield still looks really good from a long-term perspective. We've broken this big long-term downtrend. These are the things that I'm looking at on the 10-year yield and the 30-year yield, signaling that we could be entering an inflationary period for a long time. That's why these big long-term downtrend lines are broken, and we consider this to be a major breakout, a paradigm shift. That shift is occurring right now, and in the short term, yeah, we could see a little bit downside pressure before heading higher. But overall, the big trend, higher yields, higher inflation, most likely higher commodity and precious metals prices in the long-term perspective. CRB index heading a little bit lower today. We're getting a little bit of support right where we're at. This is a flag pattern, an inverted flag pattern where we could head a little bit lower. Could we reach this long-term trend line coming up here? We very well could. We could even go below it if the sellers want to push it. This is coming into the fall time frame between heating season and cooling season. It's possible we get a little bit more of a pullback. And right now, I'm not really doing anything. My entry point was all in here. And I'm riding this thing higher. There's still good entry points coming up. And we're going to have pullbacks throughout this bull market. I don't think this is necessarily done, commodities in general. And I think that this is more or less a first leg before another leg that comes later. Looking at gold, gold is doing this double bottom type movement. Hopefully it's a double bottom. We'll find out. We do have support underneath us at 1682 or so. If we break through that, I think we'll see a larger down move. But still looks all right at this time. We are still above the support line. Everything's intact. Silver also below support here. Is this a signal that we're going to head lower, or is this a slingshot cheetah type pattern where we break below the support a little bit and then slingshot higher? We'll have to find out. I'm not selling any of my physical metals. I'm not doing anything, no action. If we go lower, I see it as a better buying opportunity. If we go higher, well, I already have a position in it. And it's the same for platinum. We are squeezing a little bit below the support level. And Could there be further downside pressure? There obviously could be. We could reach all the way down to $780. If we get down to that region, I will be a buyer. I'm going to continue to cost average into platinum anywhere under the $900-ish, $920-ish level. So that's my strategy, is to continue to buy and buy assets for a long-term hold. XAU to gold ratio, the gold and silver miners in relationship to the physical gold prices, we were up a little bit, but we're still in this downtrend, long-term downtrend line. We have not broken this yet. Gold and silver usually lead and lag. They're kind of the leaders when the money first comes into the system, then it lags, and then it leads again towards the end when the money makes its way into the consumer price index. So I think that we are lagging for sure, but we need to break out of this long-term downtrend line where the gold and silver miners start to outperform gold itself, signaling that we've got a big bull market for gold and silver mining companies. That hasn't happened yet. Looking at SILJ, we have gotten a little bit more buying pressure today. We're on that support line. We'll see if it holds. It does look okay at the moment. GDX slipping a little bit below its support line. We've got another support line underneath it. Well, actually, it's in a whole range of support right where it's at. I do think it will hold, but again, I'm not the market, and the market's going to do what it wants to do. But we're right at support there. Crude oil heading a little bit higher today. We are right at that support level. Is that support level going to hold, or are we going to get blasted to the downside? We are drawing down on inventories. I am not selling anything in my crude oil holdings, and I think that the problems have not been resolved yet. We still have, I think, strength in the economy. I don't think it's some washout deflationary type scare. We would see that in declining yields, and we're not seeing that. So I am sticking long, and I'm waiting for a recovery in oil, which I think will come perhaps around election timeframe. If we get further downside here, I'm definitely going to be looking at oil and natural gas companies to add into. Natural gas is feeling a little bit of selling pressure today. We do have buying pressure underneath this still. That's what that wick on the bottom is. This is a hammer candlestick pattern where you get a body and a handle on it. This handle is a reversal where the price comes trading down and then trades back up. The momentum is going a little bit higher. Sometimes they are known as bottoming patterns. But we'll see what happens. I don't play the short term, guys. I'm a long-term investor looking for entry points to continue to add to my positions in commodities, precious metals, and those hard asset type investments. XOP, yeah, you know me, right in the channel. It's riding that channel line. And we'll see which way this thing goes in the short term. Long term, though, it still looks really good to me. This still looks like it's hanging in there. Could we pull lower? It's obviously possible. I'm not really buying a whole bunch in the oil and natural gas sections this particular time at this second. But there are opportunities that you probably should be watching in some of these other sectors like energy service sectors. OIH is looking a little bit juicy. I think it is, at least. We've got this support resistance line coming across. We're basically right at it, on top of it. And that's usually where I like to be looking to purchase. It's right on support levels. And there's a lot of different companies that you can be looking at right now that I talk about in the Platinum membership. Here is uranium. Uranium futures pricing. It broke out of this little pattern here. We're sitting there at $49 a pound. Still looks great. The Sprott Physical Uranium Trust getting a little bit of selling pressure today, but we are still above this resistance line. Still looks good for a move higher. I still like it. URNM in the same situation. We have this resistance support line underneath us. We've made our way above it. We have smaller selling pressure days versus the big green candlestick. I still like it here, and I think eventually it will work its way higher. CCJ, just kind of looking and doing our due diligence here. Broken down trend, that double bottom pattern. We've made our move higher and not much selling pressure. I think that looks good to continue higher for CCJ. That is our leader. CCJ leads the group. So that's good. TAN getting a little bit more selling pressure today. Bearish engulfing. I do think that we could head down to this level and do a retest. $74, $73 is a possibility out of this. It'd be another good spot to be looking if you want to play that, because it looks good on a long-term perspective. COPX, we are still heading lower. It was an up day today. Momentum coming a little bit lower. I think we're going to come back to this support level at $28-ish, which we're getting close to it. And I don't see the buying pressure yet of a reversal candlestick yet. CRB to S&P 500 looking bullish today. Nice big up ratio day today. I still think this is going to go higher. I think we're going to see an outperformance of commodities over the S&P 500. This is major bullish looking at it from this perspective. Nice big move higher. We're going to get our first pullback, and then I think we're going to move on higher again. It could happen at any second. So we're just basically waiting for oil to get its butt moving. And I think commodities will be quite strong. Looking at rare earth metals, again, long-term perspective, it looks really good here. I like it in this general vicinity. I like a lot of the rare earths. Diving into it, we're coming on back, and we could see a retest of about 86 bucks. So short-term bearish, long-term bullish. Lithium also right at support. We'll see if this support holds, and that's where we're at right now with lithium. We need to see some buying pressure come in here. The S&P 500 selling off. I don't like the way this thing looks. It sure looks like it wants to go lower. And we could see some selling pressure here next trading session. The U.S. composite NASDAQ bearish engulfing just like the S&P 500. And I think this is going to head lower in the short-term future here. And the only thing that can save this is interest rates, I think. To some degree, and lots of money coming from the Federal Reserve, which would be quantitative easing, not quantitative tightening. So I still think that there's going to be pressures, selling pressures, building in the S&P 500 and U.S. Composite Index for a move lower. EEM is feeling this. It's got stronger dollar. Stronger dollar and emerging markets do not mix well together. It likes weaker dollar. So right now, this is heading lower. And this thing has been heading lower with the dollar strengthening. I think stronger dollar, weaker emerging markets is what I think. The Home Builders ETF, we're heading on down. We do have support right kind of underneath it at 58 bucks. We've got a broken downtrend here. Bigger, longer term viewpoint, we could come back into this region of $48 if it decides to go that low. This is a major breakout of a long-term resistance area, consolidation area. We've broken out. We're doing the retest move. Then we'll see how high we go. The demographics support higher home prices. The demographics support new homes being built. So that is where we're at with the home builders. Lumber feeling a little bit of selling pressure here. Again, it looks like it's slowing down and that we're finding some support in the general vicinity right where it's at. Looking at cocoa futures still look great for a move higher. I think we're going higher with cocoa futures. Big bullish engulfing. We've broken the downtrend line, and then we're going to compete with other resistance lines above it. Wheat also moving higher. Zooming in on it, we've got this downtrend line that we basically are playing with. We're using it as support, and then I think we're going to head higher in wheat. Soybeans also looking like it's firming up today. Could we break down? Possible, but the buyers came in today, showed us they're there. Now it's looking like it's pretty bullish. And then corn also breaking out of this channel to the upside. Still looking good for a move higher, in my opinion. Big picture view on corn. We've got this long-term trend line that was broken in 2006 We've consolidated at a higher level. And are we going to break higher into another new higher level? That is what we're looking for. This is on a monthly candlestick, a bloody nose where it looks like we're going to go higher here. Copper still just moving sideways today. Small little down day. And that's where we're at right here. Could this be a low, a higher low, and then we got to break this high and go into an uptrend? Step one is to break the downtrend, which we've done. Step two is to create a higher low, and then we have to create a higher high to be in a new uptrend. And that's what we're trying to do. Looking at MOO, the agricultural agribusiness ETF, we're coming on down. It looks like it's slowing down a little bit. We'll see if we get some more sideways action here. Usually you pull back to this level here roughly. That's roughly what we've done. I want to see some sideways action and then a move higher, or a sideways action with a hump and then a move higher. So that's what I'm seeing there. I think it's looking a little bit better, and hopefully we can find some support here. Aluminum down a little bit, but basically flat more or less. And we're right at support. And this is where I start looking at the potential investment opportunities, is right where it's at. And then looking at Baltic Dry Index. Baltic Dry Index is firming up down here. Maybe there's some buying opportunities in the shipping companies. We've gotten kind of decimated in this Baltic Dry Index. Lots of fear, lots of stuff going around, but energy crisis is there. We got to ship coal around the world. Dry bulk shipping still is a favorite of my sectors for the long term in this commodity bull market. And I am looking at it. So that's what I've got for today, guys. Hopefully you enjoy the commodity technical analysis. Again, 7 a.m. Mountain Standard Time for the Platinum members, Saturday, 9/3. I'll see you there if you guys are Platinum members and you want to join the call. I'll tape it, obviously, and if you guys can't meet it, I'll post it up afterwards on the website. If you guys enjoyed the content, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. If you have any comments, guys, leave it in the comment section. I'd like to hear your guys' feedback, and we'll catch you next time. This is Finding Value.